space congestion and space junk are becoming a serious global problem and a potential flashpoint for international conflict. But publicly at least, America's defense establishment in general and U.S. Space Command in particular can do little about it. Like NOAA's National Hurricane Center, SPACECOM can't prevent a storm, they can just tell us when it's coming. A recent Scientific American magazine featured detailing the unabated proliferation of space junk and low Earth orbit (LEO) satellites called the problem, a space-age tragedy of the commons. 50-plus years of launching objects into space at an ever-increasing pace is creating a near-Earth traffic jam of flotsam and jetsam from old space vehicles, scattered debris from collisions, and a dense mixture of just launched and dying satellites. It's a scenario retired NASA senior scientist Donald Kessler predicted in the 1970s. As the density of space junk and vehicles goes up, a cascading cycle of debris-generating collisions can arise that could make LEO too hazardous to support most space activities. Army General James H. Dickinson, the head of U.S. Space Command, is well aware of the problem. "We're watching the Russians and Chinese adding to their military and civil space activities, increasing the number of objects on orbit as well as the explosion in our commercial market where we've got tens of thousands of satellites that will eventually make it into low Earth orbit," he told this reporter. General Dickinson acknowledged space congestion while appearing before Congress in late April. During testimony he also raised concern about a potential dual-use Chinese satellite with a grappling arm, SHIJIAN-17, capability for which space junk is cited as justification. The uncontrolled re-entry and descent of the core of a Chinese Long March 5B heavy lift rocket a couple weeks later added to space debris worries. During late May meetings with the head of South Korea's military and other U.S. allies in Seoul, Dickinson confirmed the unpredictable deorbit of the Long March 5B was at the top of list of what they wanted to discuss. While the space congestion space junk problem is widely recognized, and widely reported, solutions don't appear to be at hand. The technology to efficiently remove debris, most of which is small, from orbit is not readily being examined by the few private firms experimenting with on-orbit removal technology. Instead, they tend to focus on larger objects and spacecraft, though they've produced little if any track record of dealing with them. Astroscale, a Japanese company, recently launched an end-of-life services demonstration, ELSA-d, aiming to demonstrate magnetic capture of stable or tumbling objects. While it may have some potential, there is as yet no real business case for such efforts given the lack of regulation and liability in space. It's worth noting that the Vice Chief of Space Operations of the U.S.